I like the Suns tonight. I like them laying 6. I thought that spread was fat for how bad they've been playing this season early on and how good Minnesota has looked.
Not so fast.
Midget.
Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
This is the first game of Booker, Beal, and KD. This is their debut together.
Yeah, that's fucking beat. Fuck Bradley Beal. He is the worst. And I'm officially off of the Suns tonight. I honestly might even fade him. Justin Herbert, I'm just going to say it. He's mid. Dak Prescott, he's a coin respecter right now.
Yes.
He is. Jameis Winston now.
I feel like he could go in the GOAT category just because he's Jameis.
You could tell last night. Kent State had no business winning that game. They were never winning that game. Shit bets. I cannot believe what my eyeballs witnessed on the court last night in the MAC. What the fuck, dude?
Took Nick Bosa over 0.75 sacks. So Baker is screwed. The offensive line is screwed. Nick Bosa is going to terrorize them.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Thursday, episode 379 piece. We're back, as always, joined by your two co-hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you guys aren't using Pickett Sports to track your bets, what are you doing? Do you live under a rock? Grow up. Be a better. Be a better person in the new year, okay? Start a new goal. Track your bets on Pickett Sports and win more money. It's that simple, folks. Go check it out yourself on the App Store and Google Play for free. Definitely worth your time. And so were our NFL picks for this past weekend, Javon. Definitely worth our time. Love to see it. You are down there still in Tampa with the fam for the holidays, but love to see you getting on here, Javon, for BTL here today. Needed to give the people some winners on this loaded slate and go over what we did this past weekend. Love to see this, Javon. 4-3. We take that any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And then I had one of those legacy weeks where I just was seeing the board great. Did not have a loss. Titans should have been plus 3.5. They were plus 3.5 for the majority of the time. And I got a terrible number and we pushed there. But no complaints on my end, chat. It's been a great holiday season. Good to be back with the fam, seeing them and hitting bets. Very relaxing. So there will be no steamed crabs today. And the Hokies took care of business yesterday too. So I'm about as happy as I get today, Javon. So let's find some winners today. The brain is clear, seeing the board very well. We got sub banks galore right now. We got Kitch picks coming in with a subby. What's up, Kitch picks? We got Dave Martinez's burner back in this puppy. Sure, honey, BTL is back. That's what I'm talking about, Davey Martinez's burner. That's what I'm talking about. We got a hype train, folks. We got Mayor 6 coming in with a subby. We got Rye 36 coming in with a sub bang as well. My goodness, we got subs everywhere. Big Matty Mart coming in hot with a subby. Splash Wet coming in with a subby. Not going to ask any questions there. We like sub banks. We got lots of them right now, chats. W's back to Malik coming in hot, giving Kobe a subby. Sure. Hype train level 2, chat. Yes. Love to see it, Javon. Hope you had a great weekend, and I'm sure you were hitting plenty of bets as well.
Of course. It's been a great week. Great weekend.
Sure.
Relaxing weekend. So glad to be back to hit some more.
Definitely glad to smack some more bets today. We've got college football. We've got Thursday night football. We've got college basketball. We've got NBA. We've got NHL. The whole 9 yards, the whole shebang, if you want to call it. We've got bets and we've got plays in every game. Okay, so we're going to cut the shit, chat. We're going to keep going over a couple of these W recaps. All right, we've got the L squad ride recap from this weekend. We got to flash that up. Yes, I know I cannot be up here doing backflips when we go 1 and 2 on squad rides this weekend. Loyola Marymount on Friday was cake. Steelers on Saturday was air. Cowboys ML. Still don't really know how they didn't win that game. But we move, and that's only going to make them an even less targeted team in the playoffs when we're going to be betting them to probably win multiple games and multiple rounds. So with that being said, Javon, squad rides were not the best this weekend, but that was last weekend. It's been a while since then. We've given out plenty of winners since then, and I hope you guys have been cashing and had a great holiday. Rumor has it Dak might be getting paid soon. He probably deserves it. Okay, we're going to keep moving and grooving here, chat. How about the Hail Mary parlay from this past weekend, folks? People forget about this. They forget about this.
Yeah, people do forget.
5-piece hold the fry.
Hail Mary on Christmas.
Freer than air. Freer than air. That's how you pay for the gifts. That's how you pay for the drinks, as Mikey would say. My goodness. Free. Air Force took care of business. The Senators being a favorite at home against the Penguins. I freaking bet. Chargers plus 13. Could have taken them alt line plus 3. That shit would have hit. Falcons ML should have taken the spread. And Titans plus 3.5. The hook saved us there, Javon. Love to fucking see it. Let's go. That's how you pay for the fucking drinks. A rare good hook. Sure.
We love
Sure.
that.
Yeah, that paid for all the fucking Christmas presents. It paid for all of them.
Yeah.
Crabs, I'm gonna be in DC next weekend.
With those.
Literally, dude. Literally. We had a good holiday. The mom was happy, the girl was happy, and this parlay had a lot to do with it. Okay. Crabs, I'm gonna be in DC next weekend for the Knicks Wizards. I need some places to go before the game. Hobie, please hit me up, brother. Please hit me up. Okay. Was drinking a loco and I was supposed to be locking in the Hail Mary and forgot. David Martinez, bro, that's on you. Typical, not locked in, just like our manager is not locking in the Hail Mary. I don't know why you guys wouldn't tell that shit. That's the second one we've hit this season. So we're already up coins with that, and we're going to keep running it back throughout the bowl games and NFL season, okay? W's, and yes, as always, happy birthday, Javon. Love to see it. What overall is Lenny these days? Delgado might have to dust off Lembong for tonight. Maybe hop on some sweats if Trent gets back in time and wants to fire it up. So, Crabs, we'll be seeing you in Blacksburg anytime soon next year, brother. Love the chats. Chat's very active today, Javon. We've got a LeBron sub bang. You see that? Not LeBron. LeBron underscore sub bang, WBTL, W LeBron. Okay, and we're going to talk about LeBron James and his PrizePicks square. Definitely later today when we go over the NBA and college basketball stuff, because they've got a pretty interesting combo square that Javon found up on the board today that we're definitely going to get to.
Yeah, they do.
All right.
They do.
W's, Hail Mary smacked. Hope you guys tailed this. If you're not, grow the heck up. And if any of my boys who were hanging out with us at the Military Bowl yesterday are in chat, it was great seeing you guys. Sure. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. Honestly, they look great. The Hokies are building momentum into the new year. Kyron Drones actually ended up being pretty good this season.
He did. Right. Started turning on the second half of the season. Looked like the greatest quarterback of all time. Yeah.
He's kind of like Jalen Hurts. Can't throw that well, but he can run the heck out of the football. He's big. And he was making plays down the stretch. I'm really excited about where our program is right now. And I have not been able to say that probably since I walked in the door there freshman year. So happy. No steam crabs today. Love to fucking see it. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving, chat. I know you guys want to find some winners for today, Javon. So we might as well cut the shit and dive right in. You want to go over some college football plays since we got some games starting up kind of soon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, sure. We got some good bowl games today, folks. We don't have any military bowls. All right, that's good bowls like that are already done. But we've got some pretty good bowls today. Rutgers and Miami starting up soon. We've got SMU and your BC boys playing right now. Any live bets on Boston College that we could get in on right now? I'm just asking my whisperer here.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think they keep it close. I was getting close to punching BC plus, I guess the 11 was like what it was pregame, so it's pretty similar to where it is now. I was getting pretty close to playing that for the game. I decided to stay off because it was weird pouring there. So I kind of think they keep it close, but that's a weird one to read with the weather and Castellanos not being able to throw the ball because it's boring. So I wouldn't touch that one. But
okay, no rush. Sure, we got a fuzzy 9-9 subby. Let's go fuzzy. Sure, love to see that. Do you want to talk about Jacoby Brissett and Sam Howell, or do you want to be happy? Do you really want me to talk about that, guys? Kind of figured you didn't. I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think about that situation, honestly, more than my thoughts. Javon, what do you think about the Sam Howell and Jacoby Brissett's drama? What do you think about them benching Sam Howell for the last two games of the season? Maybe it's just a safety hazard for this 49ers game, or maybe they're just benching the young guy we're trying to develop and see if he's the guy for no reason. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, just like I don't know like what that does for them, because like no matter if you think Sam Howell's not the guy at this point, what are you doing benching him? Because you're starting, a league backup for 2 games that don't matter anyway. So why would you not just let Sam Howell play the rest of the season out and, I don't know, give him more time to develop? Like playing Brissett when you're not going to go and beat the 49ers in a game that doesn't mean anything for you. Like, what does that matter? I really don't understand that move, but that's pretty,
Goots.
I guess, typical Commanders decision making.
Goots, get that fucking 100p image off the goddamn screen. If we're going to pull up Russ in the goddamn Manners jersey, let's at least make him look fresh. Maybe put him in the black unis. That was like a picture taken on a potato. We got to be better than that. God. What are we doing putting Russ pictures up there in Commander's fits? What are we doing?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know they benched him. I know. I've been watching the games.
I'm just letting the people know. I'm just letting them know.
I know he's been getting benched. I know we've been talking about him being the greatest QB ever and having a great rookie season, and now it's all caked. I know. I also know that our organization is literally setting everything up so that we're pretty much running like an expansion team, and next year is going to be our first season. Would not be surprised if we go and get our own guy if the new ownership does not like what they see out of anybody on the field. Would you blame them? There's not a single guy on that team, coaching, organizational-wise, executives, players, anything. Not a single guy on that field deserves any sort of praise for what we just saw this season for this team. Not one. Not Terry, not our pretty decent QB's coach. Like, not a single person on this fucking team deserves a thumbs up or a good job this season. Nobody's safe. That's how it should be.
I'll say one.
Oh,
Chris Rodriguez deserves all the thumbs up in the world. Greatest running back
except
I've
for
seen.
Chris motherfucking Rodriguez. Sure.
The go.
I bought 2 tutties for the kid the other day. Unbelievable. Came through. Javon, you've had some great calls on PrizePicks recently with those receiving yard squares. Of course, the one I bombed the most this weekend didn't smack, but we move.
Yeah.
You've been seeing the board very clear, and we might have to find some PrizePicks squares for the people today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Justice Hill.
Yeah, Justice Hill. Goats.
I mean, that was just a square that made so much sense too, right? I mean, unfortunately, you see Keaton Mitchell go down the week before, and you knew they were going to get, next guy up in the running back fucking room. Seriously, they can do everything. Throw him out there, sure. It was good to see Justice Hill, a guy who I drafted and was high on in fantasy this year, didn't do squat. Finally coming through.
I wonder what the snap count was for him and Gus. It looked like Justice Hill. I know he got the start. He came out like first snap of the game, but he was pretty much, I don't know, Gus was only goal line back, which he kind of was with Keaton for a bit, but I was expecting Gus to be the starter still.
I mean,
really
look, I'm just going to say it. Just going to say it. Gus looks really slow right now.
He does.
He looks slow. Honestly, maybe we need Goots' opinions on this, but is the Gus bus slowing down a little bit? Is the Gus bus putting some miles on? Then maybe it's starting to get to him a little bit, and we're seeing him getting used a little less. There's Goots' rebuttal here.
Well, I think they like this, like, differentiating the backs. So I don't think Gus looks slow. I think it's just they like Justice's speed because they liked Keaton's speed. And Justice is as fast as Keaton, not as fast, but he's quick. So I think that I like Justice a lot. So I think they're going to be using him a lot more because he runs hard. He runs like Isaiah Pacheco if you watch him run.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Yeah, he's just tiny.
Yeah.
He's tiny. And yeah, I know he's always slow. Sure, Gus has not really ever been a speedster. He just doesn't really look as explosive, I guess, or breaking as many tackles as he did early in the season when he was going off. And maybe that's just from the miles of the season. I don't know. Maybe that's just the defenses are better they're playing against. We will not look into it too much. The Ravens are still fucking elite. That's one thing we know. Anything else we learned from the NFL this weekend, Javon, before we hop into these bowl games?
Well, before we go off the Chris Rodriguez tangent, I got to give a shout out to my goat, Greg Dortch.
Sure.
Another touchdown scorer. Light the Dortch. Absolute goats.
Light the Dortch. Grow up.
He's one of my favorite, like, injury guys in the league. Anytime there's an injury, which a lot of times it ends up being like a Marquise Brown, or back in the day was a D-Hop on the cards, just auto makes a crazy play every single weekend. So
let's go, Dortch.
Shout out Dortch. Possibly my
shout out Dortch. Okay. Are we worried about Brock Purdy? Are we throwing that game out?
No, dude.
That's the last thing I want to talk about before we move.
It's people don't realize.
People are saying the book might be out on Purdy now. Is it true?
No, dude. The book is not on Purdy. I mean, that game was a testament to how good the Ravens defense is. Because if you look at the game, you know who had more balls tipped than Brock Purdy did? Lamar did. He was just very lucky that they didn't find the arms of 49ers defenders like Brock Purdy's did 3 times. Like, there's been people act like the MVP of the league can't have a 3 interception game. Like, that's never happened. Like, Mahomes didn't have one last year. Like, Aaron Rodgers didn't have one the year before that. Like, it's a very common thing. It's like, let's relax. And I'll tell you what stands out the most? I think Pete made a tweet about this. You know what didn't move after this weekend?
What? Their
49ers Super Bowl odds. Didn't budge. So,
yeah.
I think that tells you all you need to know.
Yep. I would love to see that as a little rematch in the Super Bowl. I would have zero qualms with seeing those two teams deke it out for round 2. I think the 49ers have a little bit more in the tank than they showed in that one. The Ravens just absolutely skull fucked them out of nowhere. Not out of nowhere, but my goodness, that was just an absolute clinic. I mean, they interviewed Harbaugh. He looked like he was on cloud nine, the happiest, most calm, cool, and collected dude in that entire stadium. John Harbaugh, tip your cap to him. Great coach, keeping that team in line. And McDonald as well deserves a tip of the cap too. I mean, they have so many good coaches on that roster. No way all these guys stay. But there's a reason why the Ravens are good every season, and it starts at the top. It starts with their great owner. It starts with their great coach, who is honestly almost like a GM at times. The Ravens are elite, and this is why the Commanders are going to base their team off of the Ravens down the street. Sure.
Yeah.
Command wins coming in. Go ahead.
I was going to say this. That was the first time I think I've watched a 49ers game in a while and said Kyle Shanahan looked like he shit himself in that game.
Kyle Shanahan get exposed?
That was one of the worst called Shanahan games I think I've ever seen. Like,
wow.
Again, credit to the Ravens defense for out coaching him in that game, but he looked awful. Because, I mean, first of all, I mean, I don't know if it was ego or trying to get Brock the MVP or prove they're up there beating one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league at this point through the air. But you had CMC averaging 7 yards a carry earlier in the game. They're throwing every down, not giving him the ball. And then the times they are giving him the ball is in very obvious passing situations where they're going to looks that have not worked the entire game. So Shanahan didn't know what he was doing. That was a tough look for him. So coming back, if there happens to be a rematch, you know where my money's
run the damn ball, coach.
A little bounce back. Yeah.
Run the damn ball.
I want to give the offense some flowers too. We scored on 6 straight drives, I think.
I mean, it was just domination.
Yeah.
It was absolute domination.
It helps when you start drives in the 20. I mean, they could.
Well, everything has to come together. So
yeah, defense set them up well.
Yes, sir.
All right. L3 adds their goods, but we move. We groove. All right. Sure. Let's hop into some college football for today. Why not us? Rutgers and Miami. I like Rutgers today in the spots. Guys, betting bowl games. Look, you take everything you saw in the regular season. You bundle it up. You throw it out the fucking window. It doesn't matter. You watch the lines move. You see who's playing. You look to see what teams are motivated. You see who still has a coach. You see who's got the opt-outs, and that's how you go about your day. In this spot right here with Rutgers against Miami, it's going to be Rutgers as the more motivated team here. And that spread moving from +4, with them now being -2.5 some places, Javon, is enough for me to already want to lay it here. With Rutgers coming off of 4 straight losses entering the bowl games. I don't know what it is, but teams coming in bowl games playing like dog shit play better in the bowl games. It's just something I've noticed over the years. Teams and spots, you don't want to ever touch your bet. You think you're already fucking dead. They're packing up shop. This Rutgers team, they're going to have a fucking season rejuvenation once they run out of the fucking tunnel for this bowl game today. It's going to, all those 4 losses in their last 4 games against Maryland, Penn State, Iowa, and Ohio State, they're all going to get thrown out the window. Their coach is going to go in the locker room and give some motivational speech about all the guys who are still here. These are the guys we're building with next year, and they're all going to get fucking hype, and they're going to run out there. And Rutgers, seeing them as a favorite against Miami, it's got to already be a little bit of a head scratcher there and make you want to take them, or at least acknowledge that they're definitely the sharp side. I think we can all agree that if both these teams are healthy and playing and putting out their full teams, Miami's a better roster, okay? Rutgers got out to a hot start this season. Honestly, both these teams did, and then kind of struggled into the end of the season. Miami is not a team, not a culture, not a program that I want to buy into to be motivated in this spot after kind of folding after a hot start. Rutgers, though, is. They're not in bowl games very often. I like them in this spot. Love the line move. Give me Rutgers on the ML. Already have it locked in.
Yeah, it's not even the fact that Rutgers is just not in this position often. I mean, they've started to look better over the past couple of years, but it's also the Pinstripe Bowl, which is a big deal for Rutgers. This is a bowl game they've wanted to play in for quite a couple of years now. Even when they've had the slightest chance going into the second half of the season, they've been pretty excited to get here. So it's a big regional deal for them. So I think that is a big motivation factor, as well as the fact that that's a really good defense going against a quarterback who hasn't played a single game the entire year. And we saw what happened last time. That was the case, I think, week 11 possibly against Florida State, where he came in and he got hurt in that game. The other backup came in and got hurt in that game, so he's not available. That's why he's not playing in this game. So I think this Rutgers defense suffocates Miami's offense. A lot of it because of the quarterback situation, of course, but I don't think they'll be able to move the ball much. That's why they're a dog.
Good sign for that total moving down. Good sign for that total already being pretty low for Rutgers, I'd say, because if Miami's going to win or cover this game, I feel like it's going to go over. If Rutgers wins and covers this game, it's going to have to go under. So great sign that it's already a low total and moving down. Okay. Give me Rutgers. You're with me in the spot?
Yeah.
Sure. I wish this was a later game so that we could put it for a squad ride option. Okay. That's how much I like it today, but it's a 2:15 kickoff Eastern. Okay. Starts up right after BTL. So if you guys are looking for a play this afternoon to take the edge off, I know a lot of you guys are off work this week. W's, enjoy it. Kick the feet up. All right. It's still the holiday season. All right. New Year's is not here yet. You don't have to make any positive life changes yet, chat. Crack a beer, crack a high noon, kick the legs up, and get a Rutgers bet in. Somebody tell Mikey to get involved. I'm sure he would be right there with us.
Oh, you know, he's probably already locked.
He's already locked in. 100%. Has to be. If he's not, somebody check and make sure Mikey's okay if he hasn't tweeted about Rutgers yet. Somebody might need to go check his pulse. All right. He's definitely already on Rutgers, and so am I. And Javon can get behind it too. Sure.
Yep, for sure.
Let's send our baby goat off right. Okay. Sure. Rutgers ML, the name is Gavin Wimsatt. Okay. Gavin, let's have a fucking day, kid. You're a favorite today for a reason. The books already know you already won, and we're going to cash big on Rutgers. It starts up at 2:15 Eastern. Okay. Let's talk about NC State and Kansas State, Javon. I saw you had a best bet in this game for a little PrizePicks square / player prop on the books potentially. What do you like about Kansas State's QB on the ground in this spot?
Well, he's Taysom Hill, first of all. That's kind of his game. And this is the first start that he's had. They've had games where they've mixed him in a handful of times. They played their little cute 2-quarterback system for like 3 weeks out of the season, and Will Howard was benched / hurt for part of the game. So like he's seen plenty of action this season, but he hasn't had a start yet. Today is the first official start with Will Howard, moving on from the program. So Avery Johnson, that's what I like, his over rushing yards in this game. I think this is a spot where you're going to see something very similar to what Thomas Castellanos is doing. And I made a tweet yesterday, which ironically, I mentioned Garrett Green in there, who hooked because of an intentional grounding under, which was pain. But a lot of the quarterbacks in these bowl games, running quarterbacks are running. And especially a lot of it has to do with them not having receiving options. And probably the most gutted team in the receiving room in all of these bowl games that are happening from now until maybe the playoff is Kansas State. So you have that along with a quarterback that quite literally is Taysom Hill, and you're missing the first back in your backfield and Trayshawn Ward, who's transferring. So you only got him and DJ Giddens back there. So the plan is going to be for Avery Johnson to run the ball. And you're also missing the number one tackler, kind of quarterback of that defense, best player, potential first-round draft pick, I believe, on the other side of NC State. So that's a big second-level tackler they're missing too. So I think he runs all over them. Like Thomas Castellanos right now, 90 yards in the first half. It's a little wetter of a game than probably you're going to get with Kansas State. So it's a little different, but I think the game script's going to be pretty similar. So I think you're going to get 20 carries out of him today. And yes, W parlay.
Only somebody sat up here and said the Bucks are going to win that division before the season started. And then I got laughed at like I literally was not a human being. If only that happened. Oh, wait, it literally did.
It's fair.
How about that? The Bucks up a full game in the standings right now?
If they win this week against the Saints at home. They clinch the division.
Locked. Bro, crazy. The Bucks, there's just something about that team.
I hate that they can't play the Eagles. Likely will not play the Eagles.
I know, not anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of pain.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield's feeling himself. Guys, when Baker Mayfield's confident, when he's feeling good about his skills and his strengths out there, when he's leading his team and there's no BS going on behind the scenes or in the locker room like there were in Cleveland every weekend, the kid can play a little bit. Let's not forget what this guy does in the biggest moments under the brightest of lights over the last 10 years at times. Baker Mayfield has brought us some of the greatest comebacks, some of the greatest fucking celebrations, some of the greatest wins, not only in college, but also at times in the NFL too. And he is so comfortable right now in Tampa, Javon. It's getting close to just saying we found our guy. I don't know if you're at that point yet, but if I was a Bucks fan, I'd be getting there. Sure.
No, I'm at that point, especially with how poor the quarterback play is across the league. You can't take a guy like Baker Mayfield for granted, especially, I mean, he's I don't know if this is strictly motivation based because of his incentives, but he has to be in the top 10 in all these different quarterback categories, statistical categories, to get a bonus for each one. And he is there right now in pretty much every category. So he's playing for big incentives these next couple of weeks. I think it's like $300K or something for being top 10 in touchdowns, completion percentage, pass yards, all that stuff. And he's up there. People don't realize it, but I guess they're starting to now. He's playing really good football. But while we're talking about the game on the screen, the Jags suck. I want to come to terms with that. They're not very good. And Trevor Lawrence being injured has been a part of that for a couple games now. He's clearly not at full strength. That defense is literally Saints level fraudulent. They're not very good. It's like CJ Stroud, all the very popular Jags to win the division betters, you're probably in piss because they're probably not going to do it.
No, they're probably not. Although I do say I like them this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to take them spread or just tease them down with something, but I do think they get a win and break this streak at home. Probably not the best advice or recommendation to tell people to catch the fallen knife, but I will be catching the fallen knife with the Jags this weekend. We'll talk about that more tomorrow when we dive into the NFL weekends preview and going over some of the bowl game previews tomorrow. Chat today. We've got plenty of games to cover that are going on right now. Okay. W Goods pulling up some W tweets, by the way, when we're going over shit as well. Good shit, Goods.
Yeah, that's huge. I want to circle back to the board real quick because I do like that. I do like that rushing yards for Avery Johnson, but there's also another square that's up, which is slightly the opposite. But like I said, there's no receiving options and no guy in the backfield in Trayshawn Ward. And what we're left with is DJ Giddens, who has not one receiving yard square up, but two, because he also has the receptions up after a goose egg in the last game. But it's also really different because it wasn't an Avery Johnson offense. But when it is an Avery Johnson offense, it's a lot of running, but there's very few passes have come to Phillip Brooks and the check down, which was mainly Trayshawn Ward for a part of those games that he played in, but there's no Trayshawn Ward, so there's DJ Giddens. So I was shocked to see the receiving yard square up, which is also really, really red. But when I see the reception square up, that's a little strange too. So I would love to get involved with that as well.
Okay. I mean, look, I'm always down to back Giddens. Okay. I'm always down to back rushing square for the Kansas State QB. I'm with you on that. Is it safe to say, though, that NC State's probably the better play on the spread here? I like NC State and Brennan Armstrong in a send-off game.
I agree with that. I think that Brennan Armstrong's going to have a really good day against this defense.
So do I. Yeah.
I am definitely going to be on NC State plus the 3. I think you see like a classic gritty Brennan Armstrong game where he opens the game with like a crazy rushing touchdown and just has a ridiculous game. That secondary, Kansas State secondary also is awful.
Yeah, it's now or never for Brennan Armstrong. Send him off. That motherfucker's not going to the league. All right, final game for the kid. Maybe he'll go to the XFL or something. But any weird squares up for Brennan Armstrong that had you feeling any sort of type of way or no?
Not really. I really wish they had one of those weird like rushing touchdown squares up.
I know.
I probably would have taken that, to be honest.
He's still plus chick. He's like closer to plus 2 hundo for an ATTS. He's up there on the list.
I will say he's not
a.
I was talking about he's not like a Avery Johnson or a Thomas Castellanos. So he's not a running quarterback, but he can. And that's
he's a scrambler.
Line looks,
he's a scrambler.
Yeah, he's a scrambler, and his line is up there with the running quarterbacks. He's at 60.5. So I mean, maybe that's the answer, but I don't want to eliminate what I think the wideouts are going to do to that secondary. But I mean, man, that looks awfully high.
60.5 rushing yards.
Yeah,
that's high.
It looks very high.
Yeah. I mean, he might be running for his fucking life against that Kansas State D line, right? That's the strength of that defense.
They haven't been very good, which is weird. It's like that's why their secondary has been getting exposed because they don't get much pressure on the quarterback. It's like the fact that he's at 60.5, that's odd.
Yeah. I would not mind targeting Brennan Armstrong to run around like a chicken with his head cut off tonight against the Wildcats defensive line, making things happen. We know Brennan Armstrong is at his best in chaos, and that could be the type of game that he's got scripted against the Wildcats tonight. Give me the points. Give me NC State plus 3 for my favorite bet in that game. I also would not mind the over in that game. That's probably the only over I'd want to target today in college football. Honestly, including NFL too. And we'll talk about that here in a minute, but probably the only over I want to target. I know that total at Arizona, Oklahoma, we're going to talk about here in a second, opened up really high, but surprised to see that one creeping down. I guess we can move to that game and talk about it. Chat, you're going to unsurprisingly hear me back Arizona here in this spot. There's just no fucking way that I'm backing Oklahoma in this spot. I don't care if they have their backup QB playing. I don't care if they have their third string QB playing. I don't care if they have a guy who delivers DoorDash, who is their scout team QB, playing QB under center today. It does not matter. Every square in their mother respectively is on Oklahoma in this game. And I'm going to back Fafita, who has been an underdog story and come through in almost every spot this entire season. People still aren't hip to this kid. He is unbelievable. And the rep he's been able to establish with a guy like McMillan, who I would not mind targeting on the PrizePicks board as well if he's up, it's been astounding. Absolutely astounding. Jacob Cowing, who? Javon, him and McMillan have turned into the best, one of the best QB wide receiver punches out west this entire season. Fafita and that offense is going to have a field day against this Oklahoma secondary that is not great. I know Venable made that defense a little bit better this season, but they're still not really elite, in my opinion. They might be a little bit better, but nothing crazy. I want to back Fafita and this young Arizona team who's on the come up. This program is getting built back up, just like the Hokies in that spot yesterday, right? The motivation. You're building up this program from fucking shit a couple years ago when this coach came into Arizona, and he's done a great job rebuilding this program. They're already 9-3 this year and ranked. It's going to be the Fafita show in this spot, and I like Arizona to win this game by a couple. I do.
I like Arizona. I just don't think it's going to have to be. I like Jackson Arnold. That's what I'll put it. And I think this offense is going to look a little better than people expect tonight, especially considering the guy, Jackson Arnold's little mentor, as he kind of moved up in the Oklahoma system, is the guy who's calling the plays tonight. So, like, this is not only a system that he doesn't know very well, but he has a guy calling the plays who he's very, very familiar with. And it's not like, you have a couple of guys sitting out for Oklahoma that I think make a bigger difference, which some of those are on the other side of the ball. But I think you're going to see a cast of guys that fits Jackson Arnold pretty well. So the total is moving down. Probably because you have Arnold announcement in, and then you have probably the best defensive player in the game for Oklahoma, who's also announced in this game. I'd probably go against that. I think Arizona wins this game with their offense, so I'm with you there. But I don't think you're going to see any less of a fight from Oklahoma and Jackson Arnold.
Okay, so you like NC State more than Arizona?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Okay, you just lean Arizona probably. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any squares or anything in that game that you wanted to target? I know I mentioned McMillan's name. I want to see if he's up here on the boards.
He is.
Oh, he's up there. And he's up there for 102.5 receiving yards, bro. Jesus Christ. Look at what this kid's been doing. It's not like he doesn't deserve being over 100 pace for a square. He's been absolutely tearing it up. He's been unbelievable. I've watched a lot of these Arizona late night games. I've just really enjoyed watching Fafita, Javon, and it's literally Jacob Cowing. Like, he's not even fucking sniffing the ball at all. It's all McMillan. The dude grubs.
Yeah, it really is.
And he's still trying to build up his draft stock, I think. It could be the McMillan show once again.
Yeah, you know who it might be? The show this week, or this game on the other side? How about a Drake Stoops coming out party?
Oh, my God.
Not coming out party, but this is it's a weird dynamic because he kind of has. Yeah, he's kind of developed a little rapport. Seems like reports are saying with Jackson Arnold, which is crazy because it's the vet little wide receiver with the new guy, and obviously you're not going to have the same cast of weapons around him, which is going to be an interesting look. But I think first of all, I want to square up and take just Jackson Arnold over passing yards, whether you think they're going to win the game or not. Good passing script, regardless of the way you kind of slice it there, and they're missing running back options as well. So I think they're going to air it out all game. That's not really a secret. But Drake Stoops, if there's ever a game for Drake Stoops to be the fallback guy for a quarterback who might need it at points in this game, it's this game. So I think Drake Stoops has a massive game.
Okay. Drake Stoops. And would you want to take his receiving yards? Is that what you're eyeing?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Last time he's going to be seen in an Oklahoma jersey. It's a big game.
Yeah, they're about to be feeding him, bro. They're about to be feeding that month just for the name on the back of his fucking jersey. Okay. How would you want to back McMillan if you do it all from Arizona? Would you want to go his fantasy score? He's been a touchdown machine recently. Or would you want to just go his receiving yards? Or respectfully pass?
You can make the call there. I wouldn't hate going fantasy score. I think there's going to be points in that game.
Mm.
If he's getting 100 piece, I mean, he very likely could get that anyway.
Mm. Okay. What are some of the other squares we've liked so far? You like that one? You like Stoops? We talked about Brennan Armstrong for a second. His rushing yards probably be the best way to target him. I thought that was weird that was so high. And I also liked seeing his passing touchdowns look like it was a free more than with how he's been playing recently. I think it's going to be more groundwork today.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? McMillan, Stoops, Armstrong, any other college squares? Was there one in the Rutgers game?
Avery.
There was one in the Rutgers game, wasn't there?
No. So, I mean, I don't think that's a great game to take squares anyway.
It's not.
Unless you're taking super low unders, less than squares, I wouldn't really get involved. But other than those, just Kansas State guys is all I would have to put back in the pot.
Yes. Of course.
Avery Johnson's probably my favorite one of the day.
Avery Johnson. Okay. And people in chat are saying Stoops yards per catch like that. If he's getting fed, why not take the catches? Any opinions there from Dilly Daggers in chat? Brainstorming?
I mean, in a game like this, I want splash play potential, which Drake Stoops is quite certainly that guy at times. And when there's limited receiving options, I would love for him to be that guy. So I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference today. Plus, that's a much tougher square to take looking at that chart.
Okay. All right. Let me get these puppies in here. Stoops, McMillan. I kind of like that four-guyser. Brennan Armstrong, more than 60.5 rush yards. Avery Johnson, more than 64.5 rush yards. Drake Stoops, more than 77.5 receiving yards. And then our guy McMillan on Arizona, more than 20 fantasy score. Let's get 100 yards in the air. Let's get a touchdown pass and go about our day.
Yeah, I'm in.
Anything else we're missing? Anything else you're in love with?
I don't think so.
I feel like you were in love with that Avery Johnson square as long as we have that in there.
Read that off.
That's my one right there.
Read that off again.
Brennan Armstrong, more than 60.5 rush yards. Avery Johnson, more than 64.5 rush yards. Drake Stoops, more than 77.5 receiving yards. And we've got McMillan, more than 20 fantasy score. That could be a little college football four guys if I've ever seen one.
It's a gob right there. It's a gob.
That could be a goal. That's a four-piece with early life, Dilly Daggers is saying. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Four-piece, hold the fry.
Too.
What'd you say?
Avery Johnson on the rise. Just got bumped up 2 yards.
Good. Keep bumping him up. I don't give a hoot. Put him in 100. Does not matter to me. All right. I am locking that puppy in. Four-piece, chat. Hold the fry. Okay. No surge stream today, Dan. Potentially a sweats, but TBD on that. Okay. So pissed I can't bet Rutgers in New Jersey. Yeah, that's B, baby Pluto. That's B because that's a winner today. Yep. All right.
Did you see this, dude?
Looking at that Cowing receptions.
Dude, he has an 8 reception square up, which, I mean, he hasn't been hitting too much like later in the season like he was earlier, but just seeing an 8 reception square with only 60.5 receiving yards is kind of crazy.
It doesn't even make sense. I mean, to be fair, it's been much more Cowing short passes and McMillan with the deep balls this season. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you saying? He's going to average freaking 8 yards per catch?
Yeah, not even, which is weird.
LeBron and Bronny Square. Yeah, G-Dog, we will get to that. Do not worry. Okay. Need to get Lembong up and moving tonight. Fat Girls, I think that could be the perfect night to maybe get Lembong loose a little bit and hop in the rack. I could be down. I texted Trent. I said, let me know if he wants to hop in there. Javon, I don't know what the hell you're doing tonight. I know you're still still in Tampa. You probably didn't.
I got nothing with me.
You didn't bring the console with you?
No, I did not.
Rookie mistake.
Be back in action next week.
Okay. All right. You're good. Yeah, that'd be a crazy move, bringing your fucking PS5 on the airplane. But that would be dedication.
Yeah. I got Christmas presents to bring back, man. I need space.
I know. All right, chat. There's our little 4-piece on PrizePicks. We'll show it to you one more time for college if you want to lock it in. And then we're going to pivot and talk about some Thursday Night Football here in a moment. 4-piece, Avery Johnson, more than rush yards. Drake Stoops, more than receiving yards. Okay, Brendan Armstrong, more than rush yards. And then we've got McMillan, more than fantasy score. Let's get a 100-piece. Let's get a tutty. Let's go about our day. All right. Dubs, love it. Luke's locks. That's what we've locked in so far today. All right. If you want to recap, you can always go back and rewatch BTL and scroll through there. Okay. Always an option for you guys. Not going to go over all these plays. We're going to pivot to Thursday Night Football. All right, chat. Not the most exciting game of the day. It ain't much, but it's honest work, and we need to find some winners in it. W. Goots graphic up there on the right. Javon, Jets and Browns, a little Joe Flacco revenge game, I guess you could call it. If you would have told me that there'd be a Joe Flacco revenge game between the Jets and the Browns in 2023 before the season started, I would probably try to go put you in a home somewhere, maybe try to get you some help. But we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, it is December 28th, Javon, and it is a Joe Flacco revenge game against the Jets for the Cleveland Browns. Okay, we're here. This is ridiculous. The Browns are up to 7.5. I mean, they probably should be up to 7.5, even though the Jets are coming off a freaking win here in this spot. The win was against the Commanders. It doesn't count. That was the shit bowl of the millennium. That win literally doesn't count. The Browns have won 3 straight games since acquiring Joe Flacco. It's been an incredible run. They have not only won all 3 of those games, but they have covered all those games as short favorites. 2 of those 3 games have gone over. The only one that went under by 1 point. So we've seen way more points than projected from this Cleveland offense and way more points in these games that they've been playing in recently since they put in Joe Flacco. We saw what the Jets did last week. They put up a 30-burg against the Commanders, but literally me and Javon could go out there 2 against 11 and probably put up a 30-burg ourselves against the Commanders defense. Not impressed one bit. This is actually a spot where I want to fade both these offenses. We've seen Joe Flacco and heard Joe Flacco get absolutely stroked all week like he's Tom Brady. Enough, guys. Enough is enough. Okay, let's go ahead and bring this down to earth a little bit here. We know Joe Flacco is not going to fucking be Tom Brady the whole rest of the season. If he is, you know what? I'll charge that to the game. I will. It's not going to happen. Give me a fucking break. He's got to go up against a Jets secondary now and a Jets defense that is by far the best defense he has had to face since he's been plugged into this Browns offense. And I think coming off a win, maybe the Jets will be a little motivated. Maybe Salah in their ears is whispering, hey, you guys win out. Maybe you make this weird and maybe make the playoffs, and maybe Aaron Rodgers fucking shows up and ends up playing somehow. I don't know, but they're coming off a big-time win, and maybe they've got a little bit more life, at least enough to get that defense locked in against their old QB and try to get a big-time win and clamp up Joe Flacco in prime time. Okay, this total has crept down. All the bets are on the over. I like the under 34.5. It's down to 34 most places right now. Doesn't matter. Okay, give me the under in this game. I think both defenses will shine, and I think the Flacco Cinderella story is over.
Yeah, I kind of agree, because this is like a weird situation, which coming into the game, I guess personnel plays a big thing into it, because, yeah, you're getting a tough matchup with the Jets defense off a short week, and you have Amari Cooper coming into this game off the greatest performance we've seen in God knows how long. I mean, since the Randy Moss game, Calvin Johnson game, damn near, but he's coming off of that performance, and now he's hurt and banged up. Who knows if he's even going to play tonight? And even if he does, he's going to be less than 100% on a short week against that defense. So if you're expecting Amari Cooper in your fantasy leagues to do the same stuff that he did last week, and you're starting him hoping for 50 points, probably wouldn't do that, because I don't think this is going to be the same type of game, which, I mean, going on to squares, it's kind of why I like David Njoku, who's been kind of the fallback option when Amari Cooper is not there. So I don't think he's going to be there all that much today. And I think Njoku across the middle of the field is going to be their kind of go-to option. Him, and I guess Elijah Moore revenge game is a pretty cool narrative, but a little less volume. So I think it's going to be tough sledding for Joe Flacco today against that defense, especially because, not to say the Browns can't run the ball, but they don't have a switch that they flip when they're up in games to just run the ball, play, I don't know, manage the clock, manage possession. Because, like, even in the games they're all up, they're throwing the ball a ton, which I don't know if that's a Kevin Stefanski fault or if that's just their decided system of what they're going to run here with really every quarterback. It hasn't just been Flacco, but they throw the ball no matter what, which if you're talking about Joe Flacco against this defense on a short week with banged up options or your banged up number one option, that's probably going to lead to some mistakes. So, like, I don't see that being an advantage for them in this matchup. So, like, I think it's going to be a relatively gross game. Don't think the Browns pull away with it. I think the Jets probably keep it close. Am I going to bet on Trevor Siemian? No, probably not. But I wouldn't be taking money and putting it on the Browns and Joe Flacco either. It's a tough spot.
Under in this game. Somebody in chat mentioned a little sprinkle on the no touchdown score in this game. This could be the one to do it, folks. This could be the game to do that and sprinkle on that little cheeky prop. I think both offenses will struggle mightily. Okay, people in chat were saying bring up Joe Flacco and his squares up on PrizePicks on the board, looking at his fantasy score. He's got also a demon for 1.5 picks. Maybe that would be worth a stab against his old team. But I like that less than 13 fantasy score for Flacco, and the picks will help that as well. If he ends up throwing them, I mean, just take a peep at that chart and what he's done the last 3 games and where he's at right now. Sure, yeah, it's going to be a tough night for the Super Bowl champion, Flacco. And I'm rooting for him to struggle because he wouldn't sign my jersey as a kid. So with that being said, give me Flacco less than 13 fantasy score tonight. Is there any other way you'd want to target fading him or fading anybody in this game?
I mean, if I'm taking Flacco, I wouldn't mind just fading his yards, to be honest with you. And I know he's going to be throwing a ton, which is the scariest part. But if your options are a limited Amari Cooper, which when you talk about like his average depth of target to Amari Cooper, it ain't close. So like he's throwing bombs to Amari Cooper. And if that's not in full swing, he hasn't been exactly bombing anything to the rest of these guys. So like it's going to be a lot of dink and dunk more than you've seen, I guess, against some of the defenses that are the worst in the league at kind of containing that he's played in the last couple of weeks. So it's a lot of Njoku. If it's a lot of Elijah Moore, I don't think the consistency is going to be there for a full game script worth of passing to really make up for this. And this is also a very low line. Like I know it's a little bit of a tax to the Jets defense being really, really good and it being a short week, whatever it may be. That line is awfully low. And I kind of saw last week's against the Texans, and I thought it was really high, despite playing the Texans defense. He was pushing 300. I think it was a little above that. And now he's sitting at 233.5 with a banged up Amari Cooper. I think if I had to fade Flacco, that's how I'd do it.
I mean, yeah, that's just as nasty as fading his fantasy score. So maybe we just go with that. Although I will say I don't love seeing that you have Njoku more than 50.5 receiving yards, but it's not like he's going to end with 0. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah,
we got some leeway.
I think he's going to be. Yeah, I don't like many options for the Browns, but I do like Njoku because I think he's going to be the guy when nobody else is really there. It's going to be one of those games like, I don't know if you did this in prime time a couple of times or if you remember like Cole Kmet. Remember those couple games? I think it was prime time, maybe the Panthers game or one of those. But like he just came out and just got like every target from I don't know if it was Bajan at that time, like one of those games early. I think it's one of those games for Njoku. It's like,
okay,
I don't like too much offense, but when they have it, I like it from them.
Okay. Z-Bully, yes, the under in this game is the play. I will be on that. I actually already locked it in. Under 34.5, minus 115. That is in my best bets. I like the under in this game. If you're looking for a weird play that's got some serious value tonight that you're sprinkling some lunch money on, not a full unit, not even a half unit, maybe it's that no touchdowns tonight. No touchdown score in this game. This could be the game where I see that actually happening. And we've seen a lot of primetime overs recently. We're seeing this over, this total, the over getting pelted with bets in the spot, 70% of bets and handle on this over, and the total has slowly crept down all week. I love this under in this game for all those reasons I just stated, and I just want to fade Flacco. Not a Flacco guy. We got Ron Mux Clam subbing. Let's fucking go, Ron. I hope you had a great holiday, brother. Let me know what you're on today in chat. All right, Ron? Hope you had a great Christmas, boys. Ron, I hope you had a great Christmas, dude. Seriously. I definitely had a really good Christmas. Good to see the fam. I'm excited to be back on BTL, finding you guys some winners. Okay. Krabs or Javon, do you lean aside either way in this one? And Goots, what do you got, brother? Get back up here.
Total touchdowns under 3.5. I know it's a little safer than what you were talking about, but I mean, could be a little.
POD?
Could be interesting.
Might be the Goots POD, but I'm not fading Joe Flacco.
You know what I would say if we're talking about plus money? Go to the right a little bit. That Browns to win and not cover 1 through 6 or 1 to 6 for plus 300. That would be a stab that I would take.
Okay.
I lead in the Jets in the game. I just don't know if I have the confidence to take it, but I don't think they're going to win the game. That plus 300 could be an enticing price to do it.
Okay. Sure. I lean the Jets on the spread, but I really don't like it at all. I really like this under, chat. That's the play that I'm locking in. I already have it in. Okay. There's going to be no points and no fun in this contest. Guys, if you want fun, if you want bets that are going to be exciting and getting you jumping off the couch, screaming around and, running around your living room, go pivot to college tonight. Okay, go pivot to that Arizona game. Maybe you'll get some more excitement in that one, or maybe even just an NC State +3 piece. Okay.
I will say this, though. I will say this because I forgot about this and I just saw it pop up.
Okay.
You know what happens every time there's a regular, not demon, not goblin, anything, half touchdown square on the board that nobody really wants to take?
I'm assuming that using context
they're
clues.
the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So,
Okay.
they had the OG DeVito one against the Commanders. I guess who else? There were a couple more like on prime time for a bunch of those games where that was like the stretch of upsets in Monday Night Football. And you got one for Simeon tonight. That's on the board. So that if you're just going strictly off of the trends of how these have been going, especially in these primetime games, they end up pretty well for that team and that quarterback. So I wouldn't let that one slide.
Cannot let that one slide. He's throwing one touchdown pass in this game. Okay, chat, take everything I just said about that potential no touchdowns in this game, cheeky prop to sprinkle on and maybe, pay for the gifts and throw that out the window and go ahead and pivot to Javon's Browns win by 1-6 +300. Cheeky bets. Looking at this square right now, this tells me that Simeon's throwing a touchdown pass today. I mean, we've seen it before. We're seeing it again tonight. Nobody on fucking earth wants to bet this more than except for us. And we'll do it for them because that's going to smack.
Yeah.
That's smacking.
Might have
Who
to.
wants to freaking take that?
Has this been up before? 1.5.
Is that not a demon or goblin? Is that just a straight up 1.5?
It's a demon.
It is. It doesn't show when you put the chart up, but it is.
Okay. All right. Trevor Siemian is throwing a touchdown pass tonight. Thoughts on Breece Hall this game yet? I have to decide between him and Pittman and Higgins in fantasy football. Ooh. Well, I'm happy I'm not in your league and with your team because that's a tough call to make. Javon, any thoughts? I feel like you got to go Pittman if he's healthy.
Yeah. I mean, Breece Hall, I guess the upside for Breece Hall would be like receiving. Because I think you could be a happy Breece Hall owner if you're a PPR owner today. It's still such a scary matchup. I think he could go off for a crazy game, and I would not be shocked at all. I don't think I would have the stones to start Breece Hall against the Browns with Trevor Siemian over at least the potential Michael Pittman or T. Higgins. I don't know that I could do that.
Okay. I'm with it. I love the under in this game, chat. That's all I can tell you. Okay, that's all I can confidently give you. Love this under. Like the Flacco fades, whether it's passing yards and fading his fantasy. And that Simeon passing touchdown square more than a half is also looking at me funny too. What else in that NFL game, Javon, that I'm missing? The Njoku, more than receiving yards as well, and we go about our day.
Yeah, I mean, that just might have to be it. I will say there's been a lot of people trying to get cute with Garrett Wilson touchdowns over the past couple weeks, and they've been burned. And what do you know? Tough matchup on the road against one of the best defenses in all of football, and you got that demon square available. So if we're looking for who's getting the touchdown from Trevor Siemian to catch that half a touchdown square, very well could just be this easy.
Talk about a Moe's stack that you could put in something. A little Garrett Wilson, more than rushing receiving tutty, maybe a little Simeon, more than a half passing tutty.
Yeah.
Maybe throwing in, a Joe Flacco fade potentially, making that a nasty 3-pace. I could get behind that puppy. I could get behind that puppy. Yep. That sounds like it's smacking, folks. What's the play in this Miami Bowl game, chats? Fade Miami and take Rutgers, Jay West. That's the play. Flacco fade, yes, Churro, 100%. All right, W's. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Javon, we've got other games to cover, other games to talk about today. Anything else you wanted to state about this nasty, boring NFL game tonight before we move?
No, not much.
Okay. We got one raised brow coming in with a subby. W's 4 months. Love to see that, my man. We got Ron giving out a subby, like I already said. My fucking guy. Command wins. Giving out a subby. It was never Riverboat Ron. And it's not going to be Caleb Williams. Well, I hope you're wrong, Command wins, because I want him. We got Don't Fade 86 coming in, giving out a subby. Let's go, Don't Fade 86. We got Ian Bernstein sub-bang with Prime. People forget you can sub-bang with Prime. People forget that. Okay. W's. We got a hype train level 3 chats. Love to fucking see it. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. And yes, Alex, people do forget. We smacked the Hail Mary plus 1,900 parlay this weekend. Let's run that shit back tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, there it is. Feast your eyes, chat. There she blows. Look at that puppy. Beautiful. I mean, Javon, that thing was chiseled by the gambling gods themselves.
It was.
Absolutely beautiful. The Mona Lisa of Hail Mary parlays right there. Boom.
Absolutely insane.
Right
once
there.
Once we got past Air Force and the Senators, I had a pretty good feeling about the rest because those were
pretty good.
Air Force wasn't sweaty, but it's always sweaty fading JMU in any sport. And then the Senators almost blew another lead. I was about to hang it up if they lost that game. And what do you know? They came through.
I mean, chat, does it get any more beautiful and glorious than this Five Geyser? My goodness.
I was paying for Christmas Eve dinner because of this. I mean,
yes. That's what I'm talking. Goots is out here fucking stealing the check from his pops, and I got this one. I got this one, pops.
Hey,
take a rest.
I got this. Take
a year off.
Did you hear about the Hail Mary, Dad? Did you hear about it?
Did you hear, Cash? Did you hear about the news? Yeah, I got the check this season, brother. Okay.
Gotcha.
Love it. Yeah, Chad, if you guys aren't tailing this shit, grow the heck up. And I don't want to hear a single bitching from you guys.
Official PrizePicks account tweet too, by the way.
La Family Special on Twitter. Yeah, I'm fading. Okay. Gooch, cut the shit. Just pull that square out, man. Just cut the shit and pull it up. LeBron James and Bronny James, less than 34.5 points tonight. I will have at least a rack on something to pair with this. Has to be done. This is a free square that they're giving us. They don't give us these very often, chat. LeBron James and Bronny James, less than 34.5. The graphic has already been tweeted, and the fade will be in shortly. Javon, who the heck are we two-piece nuking this with?
I mean, you know what I would say? I would say Avery Johnson's the guy. That's my favorite square of the day, without a doubt. So
Avery Johnson,
I'll have to sprinkle
more than rush yards.
Yeah, I'll be sprinkling. I mean, both these squares and quite a few things. It's even funnier too if they put it up. I mean, they know what they're doing, but they put LeBron up when he's playing the Hornets. So I mean, that couldn't seem any easier. He can get it himself in theory because the Hornets don't play a lick of defense, and people might be in piss when they realize that LeBron has 20 and they're up 75 and he doesn't play the entire fourth.
Jesus, bro. All right. Avery Johnson, more than 64.5 rush yards. We've got the Bronny special. Okay, cannot believe that's a thing, but it is. Less than 34.5 combo points. I'm going to put a rackaroon on it. Folks. Little two-piece to build the bankroll. Javon, you don't have to match me, but you're in to tail that two-piece?
Yeah, I'm tailing two-piece. Maybe not match, but match half.
Yeah, half match. Half match plays. Okay.
DCTD.
Avery Johnson, more than 64.5 rush yards, chat. We're pairing that with LeBron and Bronny combo, less than 34.5 points. Okay. It's that simple. A rack to win 3K. It's been locked. All right. I'll catch you guys at the fucking counter. Okay. W's. Yeah. Avery rushing yards, Richie. Right up here on the board. All right. Dubs, Javon, you want to pivot to some college basketball today? We got about 30 minutes. We got some time.
Sure. Right. Let's see what we got.
It's been a while. Let me dust off the old, let me get loose here. It's been a while since we've gotten to dive into college basketball here. It's been a tough couple of days. I'll be honest. It's been a little too quiet. And then yesterday, I think there was only 2 games, and they were the worst games of all time. So we're back here today, though. All right. Get these kids back in the fucking gym. The holidays are over. Cut the shit. All right. We got college basketball games we need to be betting on here, Javon. This is ridiculous. The early games are not great. I'll be honest with you. If there's any of these early games that you want to target, Javon, or talk about, please, by all means, bring them up. But I've got my eyes on a couple of these late night Geysermans. Anything you like in the 7 p.m. Easterns.
I mean, we do have potentially game of the year in Central Arkansas and Oklahoma on the board. Not gonna lie, that might be a banger. Might get the people excited. Might be a banger.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, I want to take Central Arkansas so badly, but they're awful. They're awful. It's just coming off of this spot for Oklahoma, off of this little extended break here. And they're playing a team like Central Arkansas, gearing up for like a week before conference play. This just screams the letdown spot. And I am probably as big an Oklahoma fan with this team than pretty much anybody is at this point because I think they're pretty legit, even though we faded them not too long ago. I think they struggle here for a little bit. They just come out flat. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. It's like I think 31 is a little too much. Maybe they win by like 25. We call it a day.
Okay. Would you want to target a first half sleeper spot here? Get out?
First half could be legacies. I wouldn't mind
the way you're describing this game, right? You got Central Arkansas, who's coming off an outright loss as a favorite once again. They've been absolutely miserable this season. Before that, though, they did have 2 outright wins, and we're looking actually much better. Oklahoma, I don't love fading them once again, coming off their first loss of the season, obviously, but maybe that'll throw off their confidence a little bit. I mean, they were feeling like the fucking 2015 Golden State Warriors there for a second when they were undefeated and shooting up the AP poll rankings with Javion McCullough leading the way. He's a stud, and Oklahoma's good for sure. Don't get me wrong, but maybe a Central Arkansas first half stab here. Get in, get out. Plus 19.5 on the green book.
Keep it within 20.
I think that's probably the play. Maybe Oklahoma gets caught lacking here a little bit off after a big break. Central Arkansas obviously needs to play well. They probably had a tough couple weeks of practice here in between the holidays. They are 3-10. They are moose shit. I like that first half angle, plus 19.5.
Yeah, I'm with that. Okay. I'm going to punch that out.
Yeah. First time chatter. Captain Smiles coming in hot. Avery was more. Yes, Avery more than rush yards. Avery more than rush yards. Okay, he's the QB on Kansas State. And then we're pairing that with LeBron and Bronny combo less than. Okay, I got to take a breath before this one. Rumors the Commanders are very interested in Caleb Williams, who will likely be the first overall pick per Dan Graziano. Watch what they do with Sam Howell over the final 2 weeks. The Commanders could find themselves in a position to either draft Williams or trade up in a spot or 2 to get him. Washington currently holds the 3rd overall pick. Do it. Do it. Do it. Put your money where your mouth is. Do it. If you're going to rebuild this team, if you're going to act like this team's an expansion team, if you want to bring in your own guys, if you want to clear the house and change the culture, if you actually want to fucking make a difference, do it. Make the move. Because although it didn't work out with RG3, if his fucking knee held on, and if we didn't have one of the shittier fields in the NFL, and if we decided not to play him when his ACL was already holding on by fucking dental floss, then maybe it would have. Okay? Guys like Caleb Williams don't fucking grow on trees. And I'm tired of teams, especially mine, not going out and making fucking moves because they're scared of doing the RG3 2.0. Yeah, throw the steam crabs back up. Go out and get him. Go out and get him. And you won't hear any complaints from me. Either way. Either way. Caleb Williams could change this entire organization. Caleb Williams could bring this team back to the dynasty that they were in the 90s. They were literally the Patriots of the 80s and 90s. Caleb Williams is the future. Okay, whatever team he's taken over, he's about to be Patrick Mahomes 2.0. Go get him. Make it happen. Yeah. I would be impressed.
I'd respect it.
As a fan of the team, as a fan of the team who's had to deal with shit for the last 26 years since I have fucking memory, since I was literally born on this earth, Javon, this would be a good thing for our new owner and for our organization.
The NFC East media would be unbearable. Now that they'd actually have to pay attention to all 4 teams.
That's the thing that our age doesn't understand is how fucking good and respected this franchise and organization was forever. Up until we were fucking born, Javon, and everything we've seen for this team is just hilariously embarrassingly bad. Yep. Cross those damn arms, Ron. That'll help.
Hilarious.
Ron might have to sell that watch on his wrist to pay for his fucking retirement home after how downhill his fucking coaching career went. What a joke.
And sell a Super Bowl ring that Cam or NFC Championship ring that Cam gifted to him.
Okay. WJ came to win comment. College basketball, we need to fucking lock in. This is your guys' fault. That was Fat Girl Zing's fault and Javon. That's on them. Okay. Usually it's my fault for talking too much, but they brought it up. I'll blame it on them. Central Arkansas first half plus 19.5. Sure. We move. Anything in Oakland? A covering machine?
Got nothing. Nothing in Oakland.
Got nothing there in the game of the millennium. Okay. Keep on moving, Gates. No Sam Houston bets today. I just don't have much in these early games, but we'll get to something that I like down the stretch here. It's probably worth talking through USC and Oregon here. Probably the best game of the night, maybe the 2, best teams going at it. Any thoughts on Oregon here, Javon? I mean, they have had, talk about the injury bug. my goodness, their entire team is caked. Majority of them for the season. You can't tell me that they're motivated right now during the holidays to pull off a big-time win against the USC team that has been struggling and is drowning right now, underperforming out the wazoo. This USC team was gassed up. Boogie Ellis talked about like he's one of the best players in the nation. He needs to start showing it. This team's lost 4 of their last 5 games. What are they doing? I like USC in the spots, but I will say fading Oregon, probably not the sharpest angle ever because of how down bad they are as well. Javon, what are your thoughts on this game between 2 heavyweight programs who are struggling right now?
Yeah, kind of like Oregon, but I don't feel great about it because, to be honest with you, I mean, it's as much as you're buying low on Oregon, I guess you could say, with all the injuries they have and how mid they've been to this point. USC has been equally as bad, if not worse, and they've done it healthy for the most part, especially like defensively. I mean, the strength of their team coming into the season and kind of what we expected from USC was their defense, and they've been pitiful. I mean, they went and gave up track meets to a lot of teams like Long Beach and a lot of teams that, frankly, I expected them to be much better, much more sound defensively against. And a lot of people probably got tricked by that early season performance against Kansas State, where they looked really, really good because they haven't been good on defense. So, like, this is a track meet type game at home that I think is going to get very dicey with a lot of lead changes. And in a game like that, I probably want Oregon, who I think at this point seems like the more physical team, which is crazy to say with the cast of defenders that USC has, but I don't know if they'll be able to keep up with Oregon for a little bit. So I like Oregon. I don't love it though.
Okay. Lean Oregon. I think I lean, honestly, USC in that game, but probably won't be betting it. I'll just be rocking with that Bronny James fade and going about my day. We've got Trent Supergoats coming in hot with a subby. Sure, 11 months. Love to fucking see that. Let's make it 12 in a month. Can't wait for Kentucky to smoke Clemson tomorrow. Bang. Yep, we'll talk through that one tomorrow, Trent Supergoats. Don't you worry. And Yankee Will. Don't love the name, but I love the sub bang and the energy. Welcome back, gents. Thank you, Yankee Will. Sure. Maybe the Yankees will finally win a World Series for the first time in my lifetime this season. That'd be cool. All right. That's probably uncalled for stray there for our guy sub banging, but let's keep moving.
Crazy.
Let's keep gripping.
Crazy stray.
How about Eastern Washington, Javon? How about Eastern Washington here in the spot? Portland State has been on a legacy tear this season. I think they're coming off a nice little outright win too. I'm pulling it up, but Portland State is 9-3. Sure, Eastern Washington 4-7, but Eastern Washington's strength of schedule has been a little bit tougher. They played a lot better teams than this Portland State team has, but got to give respect to respect is due here. Portland State is coming off a very tough outright win at Fresno State, which is not easy to do. I don't care how bad that team is right now. If they're rebuilding, going in to Fresno and getting a fucking win on the road there is very impressive. So now let's fade that team for multiple units, sneakily if we have to. Give me Eastern Washington here, who is now back home tonight, and they need a win bad. They've looked much better recently, I will say. Terrible, terrible start for Eastern Washington this season, but their last 3 games they have covered against 3 pretty solid teams, Air Force, Cal Poly, and Washington, who they hung around with, their rival the other night. So I feel good about the trajectory of this Eastern Washington team. They're not, anything special. They don't really have like a guy who's going to the league or anything like that. They got this dude Coward who's pretty good, pretty solid piece for them, averaging close to 11 points a game. The junior from Fresno, he's leading the charge for Eastern Washington, and I like them at home in this spot with clearly a weird spread and fading Portland State coming off of a monumental win.
Yeah, and I mean Eastern Washington too. I think that's a team where the market is going to tell you exactly who they are, because it's not just that they looked bad like to open the season. Like, do you see their schedule? Not just that it's like harder than Portland State's, very obviously, but start of their season, a road trip to Utah, a road trip to Ole Miss, a road trip to Cincinnati, a road trip to Stanford, a road trip to Washington State. Those were 5 of their first 6 games. I guess you can even include a road trip to USC. 6 of their first 7 games with a non-D1 home game sandwiched in between that. That was their month of November. So
yeah,
to say that their schedule was harder than Portland State is pretty obvious, but like with that team, I think they're a lot better than like all those results are going to show, because they're not a team that went, 1-6 in those games. They didn't win a single one of those road trip games. They just only won the D1, non-D1 home games. Like, they're going to be better against these worse teams. Can they get big wins against those bigger power conference teams? No, they haven't really been able to show it, but they've been competitive. And they look a lot better of a team, a lot more confident of a team. And Portland State, I don't think they're ready for what they're going to see from Eastern Washington's offense today. So I think Eastern Washington scores it well. So I will gladly take a stab at Eastern Washington.
Sure. Love it. One of my favorite plays today. Might end up being my favorite college basketball play today. But let's finish up the card here. We got Johnny Bones, 505, coming in with a subby. What's up, Johnny Bones? Not going to ask questions about that name. Love to see you coming in here giving out a subby. Sure. Montana State and Idaho State. This is a game that's a little bit slept on here. I don't want this one going on the rug here. Montana State, honestly, has been overperforming a little bit. If you ask me, they're 7-4. I think they should be more like a 4-7 type team. They've got some really close wins, and they're going against a Weber State team and program. Sure, they got back on track a little bit in their last game where they beat Wyoming outright as dogs, but overall, it's been a very disappointing season for Weber State so far. I know they're better than this. I like them in this little get-right spot here at home. Don't know if I'm going to get to the counter with it, but I like that spread moving up a little bit in Weber State's favor here. This is a different game. Goots, go to the Weber State-Montana game, not Montana State's. If we can scroll through and find that one right above it. Yep, there we go. I like Weber State moving from -4 to -4.5 here. And now we're seeing the juice even moving up more. If they get to 5, I might be interested in maybe parlay piecing this with something or laying the spread here. But I like Weber State in a get-right spot against a fraudulent Montana team. And then looking at Montana State and Idaho State in this spot, I actually like Idaho State and the potatoes here at home against a Montana State team that's not very good. But Montana State, they've really fallen off since all their good players transferred from last season, Javon, but they still carry that big name and big weight. I'm sure there'll be a lot of squares backing them here on the road with a better record. Nobody ever wants to back the freaking Idaho State potatoes. I'll give them a shot here at home as a favorite. I lean them -1.5. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody scores in that Idaho State game, Montana State. I mean, those two teams play ridiculously slow. And I mean, Idaho State is a very underrated 3-point defense. Montana State doesn't have many offensive options that really scare you, which part of that's because their entire team was gutted by the transfer portal pretty much. Nobody on the perimeter really is a playmaker, so they don't really have that dynamic guy that you're scared of like they did with Raekwon Battle. So I don't know how anybody scores. Total kind of ticked up initially, and then it's starting to come back down. So like I would lean the under there if anything. And yeah, definitely am with you on Idaho State. I think it's an ugly game, like a 62-60 Idaho State win, something like that.
Okay. Sure. All right. Maybe the under look here.
Yeah.
All right. Dubs. What else we got? UC Davis against UCSB. Any thoughts about the Davis boys tonight, Javon?
Dude, I can't figure out UC Davis. I've tried a time or two, and I think I'm officially out. I have no comment on this game.
No comment. I lean the Davis boys at home. I know it's been tough. I know they've been burning the sharps. But seeing the Gauchos only laying 1.5. Actually, they opened up a dog in this game, which is enough for me to already lean Davis. And obviously that spread has moved, and the bets accordingly are coming in on the Gauchos, as they probably should be. They're 7-3, and they're a much more established team. But I like Davis at home, getting a couple points. I think this will be a one-basket game either way, but I wouldn't be surprised if UC Davis defends their home floor and gets a big-time win, their first win as an underdog here on their home floor this season against the Gauchos. UCSB coming off an embarrassing loss as a -1.5-point favorite to Montana. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. UCSB, on the other hand, has won 4 of their last 5. They're coming off a big-time cover where they were laying 9 points to Howard, and they got it done. And before that, they destroyed a Loyola Marymount team and covered that one with ease. It's been pretty easy for the Gauchos over the holidays. Now we fade on the road. Give me Davis at home, who opened up a favorite in this game when they shouldn't be. Okay. Oh, missed extra point in the football game people are talking about right now, chat. Sure. Okay.
You see Tutty.
Look at that. What are you guys sweating out in this Boston College game right now? What are you guys sweating? Any life? Any plays at the tape? I need to know.
Tommy touchdowns, another rushing touchdown. Look at
wow. Was he up on the board today?
He wasn't, or else I would have opened a mortgage second.
I was going to say I would have known about it, I feel like. Yep.
Yeah, you would have known. Everybody would have known about it. I would have nuked that touchdown.
Sure. Ben's asking about A team and B team today. I'm sure we could craft something up. We did lock in a 4 Geyserman for college football today, though, but we do got some squares we like in the other sports too. I'm sure we could craft up some sort of A team and B team, or at least another slip. Okay.
Yeah.
Dubs, let's keep moving and let's keep grooving here. I think there was one more game that piqued my interest late night. Javon, any other late night
It's
Geysermans?
UCLA, right?
Yeah, UCLA, Oregon State, we could talk about. Sure. The late night beef. Look, they've been much better than everyone's predicted this season. I'm not going to lie to you. The late night beef. Don't let them get hot. It might be too late here, folks. They have won 5 games now in a row. But if you look at who they're playing against, it's no teams that are even worth my time reciting the names of them because you're probably not even going to know the schools. And then UCLA, who has not covered since World War II, has lost 4 games in a row to Villanova, Ohio State, a Cal State Northridge outright loss as minus 17.5-point favorites. And then they get to lose to the Terps, who are playing some of the worst basketball I have ever seen in my fucking lifetime right now, the Terps are. And they still lost that game by 9. Whew, Mick Cronin. Probably time to hit the reset button, brother. I still trust Mick Cronin in that bald head, and I think he gets right here on the road, Javon, against an Oregon State team that's been overperforming. Very, very disappointing start to the season for the Bruins here, who had a lot of hope with guys like Bonet coming back. I'd like to back him laying 6.5 points when they don't deserve that one bit on the road to a Beavers team that's been balling recently. Fades. Okay, 2 teams going in opposite directions. Those correct tonight. Lay UCLA with the spread on the road here.
Yeah, I wanted to take Oregon State. I'm not going to do it just because it's, like you said, there's such a mismatch there with the strength of schedule, especially recently, that it scares you off a little bit and it looks like a fat number. I just think UCLA has St. Mary's syndrome, which St. Mary's is probably, I think, going to recorrect themselves a little more throughout like the conference season than UCLA, but I just think they get a lot of market respect just because of the name. And they don't realize that by the metrics, have been one of the worst offensive teams in college basketball all this season. So I wouldn't be shocked if they pulled away with this game. The spread does look very telling, but I also wouldn't be surprised if this is just another bump in the road for UCLA, and they really are this bad, and Oregon State just beats them at home.
Okay. All right. Maybe we stay off that. Grins, what's up, Beast? Taking the highest total on the board tonight. No thoughts, just vibes. Sure, Grins. What game are you talking about? Probably an NBA game, I'm assuming. Let me know what you like today, my man, in chat. Any other late night Geysermans in college basketball, Javon? Wouldn't mind a little stab on Cal Poly at home. Cal Poly Pockets against Cal State Northridge, who is 9-3. And like I just said, they're coming off a win against UCLA. And then they went on to beat Montana State, destroyed them. Another big name program that was pretty solid over the last couple of years. Cal Poly, on the other hand, before their win against Omaha as dogs in that last contest, it was getting dark for Cal Poly. They were losing games left and right, playing terrible, losing to really bad squads. Maybe it's Cal Poly here getting a couple points at home in the late night Geysermans.
What if I told you that the certain team in this game that is on the road is also 6-0 ATS on the road?
Yeah, guys, it's going to be Cal Poly plus 3.5 tonight at home, defending their home floor here against Northridge, who just beat UCLA the other day. Are you guys listening? You guys clicking your pens?
Yeah.
You writing down these little spark notes? You guys locking these bets in with us or what? Are you just sitting there holding your Johnson in your hand, or are you guys locking these plays in? Okay. We're fading Cal State Northridge tonight, who's been an absolute fucking ATS wagon, not only on the road, but just this season, beating teams like UCLA.
Yeah.
Now they're laying 3.5 points against Cal Poly Pockets. Are you kidding me? Think, chat. Think. It's not that hard, okay? Does it look like Cal State Northridge is just the books giving away free money? Or is it just me? Okay, because those bets don't fucking hit. All right? We got Ben resubbing. Love your boys, man. Hail Mary bang. Ben, I know you fucking tailed that shit. You're one of the OGs.
Goat.
I know you tailed that, Ben. W's. Love to see that. Rumor has it there might be a Chelly sighting in chat. People are talking. Chelly's been on fire recently. If you guys aren't tapped to Chelly's PrizePicks squares recently, you might want to watch.
W4 piece last night.
Chelly's holding his pockets, folks. He's holding them. Fade the Cal State Northridge boys and back the Poly Pockets at home, getting a couple. All right. Chelly POD, yeah, we need it. What is it? Need it. Like air. 65% on PODs. Chelly, feed me, bro. Feed me. We got Chappy Funk giving a fucking 5U whale in chat. Let's go, Chappy. Let's go, Chappy. Sure.
Let's go.
Hey, we got the boys getting lit. Sure. I think Trent had 5U whale. Deloitte lives a day without Chappy.
No sound on this was tragic. I'm laying a bed at night, and this
know,
comes
I
across my feed,
know.
and I don't hear it. I was in piss.
So I guess when you screen record a FaceTime, it doesn't fucking
No,
pick
it
up the
should.
sound.
It does work. It's just, I guess it just didn't work for them.
Might have just been user error by Trent.
Trent's a
Damn.
bot.
I used to pray for times like this. Short fat girl Zach. Unbelievable. Chelly, 2 words, brother. Back. All right, let's keep smacking entries. If you guys aren't tapped, go check out Chell God's PrizePicks entries for the last couple of days. They've been smacking. Okay? They've been smacking. Grins is saying he checked the audio 4 times. Yeah, Grins. You can't win them all. Can't win them all.
Sure.
All right. W's, let's keep moving and keep grooving. Nothing else for me in college basketball tonight, Javon. I think we could probably pivot to the NBA and the ice. I'm sure you've got a couple plays that you like. You want to let the people know and share with the group?
I really don't on the ice. I mean, PrizePicks Square, I'm taking is Evan Bouchard to get an assist, which anytime there's any of it's really him and like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins up for the Oilers. I look to one of them when they're in a pretty big game script, aka they're playing a shitty team that you think they're going to kill, which they're minus 410 today against the Sharks in a game that they lost earlier in the season. I do think they're going to get right today, and Evan Bouchard's usually the guy that kind of operates it from the back. So like that's the assist square I'm going to take. I think Nugent-Hopkins is a solid look there too. So that's what I like on the ice. As far as like side and total wise, I don't have much. It's like a small 4-game slate. The only thing I'm going to lean is the Kings on the road. And yeah, I guess we can talk about that for a second. You know what that is? There is you can go ahead and pull up the Eastern Conference standings, Scoots. Go ahead and do that. Because there is a team that I think is starting to play well, which starting to play a little better than I think I thought coming out of the little break here last night. But they're plus 110, or we're plus 110 to make the playoffs. Probably moved a little bit since then after last night's performance. Let's go to what are they in the Metropolitan Division? Keep going. There they are at the bottom. Pittsburgh Penguins make the playoffs. That's my future that I took. It's not like crazy odds like the Reds, but it's a more fun sweat, or I don't know, similar sweat. And I don't know if you know how the Penguins missed the playoffs last season, Krabs. Were you tapped into that at all?
Mm-mm. Give me 30-second rundown.
They lost to shit teams, essentially.
Okay.
That's how they missed the playoffs. They had winnable games that they missed out on. Now defense is playing well. Jari's playing better. Nedeljkovic is playing well too in goal. If you would have told me Crosby's playing as well as he is, and this team is sitting where they are in the standings, I'd tell you you're smoking something, because there's a disconnect there. A lot of it's been the power play, inconsistent play from the goalies and defense. That's all starting to get a little corrected coming into this part of the season. They're playing a lot of teams now coming out of this little break that don't rip puck too, which is huge for a defense that's starting to play well, goalies that are starting to play well, and great that they're playing teams that don't have great penalty kills either. So I think everything is going to start to get corrected for that team, and they're making the playoffs. So that's the future that I took.
Chad, any thoughts on Flacco over 1.5 passing touchdowns at plus 168? Anybody want to help out my guy Alex in chat? Go ahead and answer that one for us. Javon, man, I hate the Penguins. I hate their guts. I'm a Caps fan, but they probably do not belong that low in the standings list, right? Yeah, you don't like them either. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Gosh, what do you think about where their odds are at right now? Were you expecting them to be a pick on each side?
I was shocked. So I locked it in 2 nights ago at plus 110, which I thought was extremely short to begin with. And now, I mean, they beat the Islanders 7-0 last night, which that's a big game because the Islanders are above them. So great, I guess, start, a lot to go, but that's what caused the odds to shift dramatically like they did. I'm shocked to see them at a pick 'em, though. I'll tell you that. And I think that's pretty indicative of what's going to happen here.
Okay. All right. And there's plenty of season left, right? They're not even halfway done. Plenty of season.
And I think from now until the All-Star break is going to be a pretty big time for the Pens. So like I think they get rolling like throughout January, and we'll see what happens, because really they have like a date that they're set of whether they're going to sell or not, because like that's kind of the expectation that's been put on them. They say put yourselves in a playoff position or else we're going to start trading players. So they have they got to start getting it done soon, or else this is going to turn very badly. And I think they do get it done.
All right. Little ultimatum from the execs in Pittsburgh, putting their foot down. Maybe that could be the difference. Maybe that helps.
Could be.
Dead Larry Bird in chat, my local resident Sharp, Eastern Washington Gents. Yes, we can concur. It is Eastern Washington tonight. Yes. W's. Anything else on the ice for tonight? W future. This is the one we've all been waiting for. Chat.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh to make the playoffs at -115. But what do you got for tonight?
Yeah, I don't have much for tonight. The only one I'm considering going and playing is the Kings on the road against the Knights, but Vegas has been a thorn in my side really all season, so take that how you want it. I do like them to score goals at the very least against Vegas. I know Vegas had a tough time out last. So I think regardless, I think we're going to see goals in this game, which maybe if you want to combine the two, take a little Kings team total over and see them score goals, because I think if Vegas wins this game, it's going to have to be with their offense. I don't see them shutting down the Kings offense necessarily. So it's kind of what I lean there. I don't know how exactly I'm going to play it, but I don't have great reads on anything else. I mean, if you want to play, I know a lot of people are making fat parlays with some combination of stuff for the Oilers in there. You see that little -1.5 or -200. I'm a big don't fade the Sharks with big numbers guy pretty consistently, but I don't have a problem with doing it tonight necessarily. So go ahead and you make your juicer parlays and put Oilers -1.5 or whatever in there, because I think they do roll little. This is like the game that kind of shut it all off for them early in the season too, because they lost them, which kind of pissed off the fan base, and that was like rock bottom before they fired the coach and started to get it together. So big kind of revenge angle from earlier in the season. And the Sharks have been really, really good for absolutely no reason the last handful of weeks before the break. Probably not going to happen tonight.
Huh. Okay. All right. Can we pivot to the NBAs? People in chat are getting riled up.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, Goots, we got to do a King of the Board giveaway from last week, don't we? Don't we now?
We do.
Who ended up winning that week? Did somebody jog my memory? That was so many days ago.
It was you.
Was that? Oh, it was. Okay, sure. So we're now what, 3-1 in King of the Boards, or 2-1? Great.
Yeah, 3-1. Got me feeling like Braun.
Feeling like Brownie. Can't even say two-time champ, 2 rings. That shit stank on it, which is my favorite LeBron quotes, because now we're at 3 rings. But if you guys are not tapping into the King of the Board plays, which we will start up again on Monday, not going to do a short week this week. Okay, we will have BTL tomorrow. I'm even down to do a mega ep tomorrow, Javon, if you're down to put in another 30 minutes. We've got a lot to go over for the weekend with bowl games and NFL previews and shit like that. And catching up for this week. So definitely down to go over some of these NBA games really quick. There's really just one, Javon, and it's that one there right up there at the top. Sure. Pistons and Celtics. I'm sure it's been all on your guys' feeds. Okay, Pistons set the record most losses in a row in a single season. Sure. Well, they haven't broken the actual record for most losses in a row yet, because that one spanned into multiple seasons, and there's still, I think, maybe 1 loss away from breaking that record. Either way, though, that's not what I want to talk about here. You could literally bet the Pistons to not win another game this season, which, by the way, is a moose shit wager, and you should not bet that. That is literally just to take your coins faster than Santa fucking snatches up cookies coming down the chimney. But you could bet this, Javon. $100 to win over 30K. Okay, you get that $100 back too as well for the bet, so a little over 30K. Unbelievable. If people are betting on this, you just love giving away money. Maybe you are actually more of a charitable person than you expected initially. Maybe you just start going, work some hours at the soup kitchen or giving away some money to homeless people instead of throwing away your money on this terrible bet. Okay, but with that being said, there is a certain book up there, no free ads, but it's green. And I'd love to look at this crazy futures tab they have up that we were talking about earlier, Goots, with the next team to lose to the Detroit Pistons. And Chad, I want your guys' help here real quick. We have a minute, no surge stream, but we'll wrap up here soon and do a squad ride and get you guys out of here. But I'd love to pull this up real quick, Javon, and get your opinion on who you think the Pistons are going to beat coming up, if it's anyone, because they've got odds for all these games coming up, and the Wizards are on the list. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and pull this up real quick? Maybe it will be the Wizards who they defeat. But I feel like every team has just leveled up their motivation against the Pistons because they don't want to be the team to lose to the fucking Pistons. It's like you're getting maximum effort like you're in the fucking playoffs against the Pistons, who are just already down so bad, losing 25 games in a row. It's got to be just gut-wrenching for this Detroit team, man. God.
Trying to find it here, boys. I can't.
Yeah, so it's a tab across the front if you just want to pull up Greenbook and go to NBA.
I'm there.
And then keep scrolling team futures, like keep scrolling down that list. Don't click on team futures, just keep scrolling on that bar. Yep, there will be a
Bronny James tab, huh?
Oh, damn, you don't have one.
No.
Gooch doesn't have one. So maybe I got a screen share?
Lakers plus 600?
Hold on, I had it up here earlier. Unless it's gone already, dude.
Maybe they just took it off.
I'm looking. Give me 10 seconds. Maybe because I'm in a different states, they have different options up, but that would kind of surprise me a little bit. Pistons next win. Okay, I do have it up here. So I can screen share here real quick, folks. I want to get your guys' eyes on this puppy. It's crazy. I mean, the fact that they have all these options up for their games coming up is hilarious. Let's see. Bang. Sure. Definitely not sized correctly, but that's all right. Can't win them all. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, sure. Here it is, folks. Pistons next regular season win. If there will be any. Will there be any? Will they lose out? I mean, you could bet them at 30K, not to win another game the whole fucking season. Or Javon, will it be tonight? They don't even have options up for that, I don't think.
I think it's
pretty hilarious.
It's this Raptors game this week.
They're playing it's the Raptors game this week.
They're playing on Saturday with the Raptors on a back-to-back after playing in Boston on Friday. It's like I think it's also very short because it's in 2 games, but I think there's a reason there's that big of a gap between that and pretty much everything else. So like I mean, yeah, not that I'm going to bet the plus 180 on this to be their next win, but spot wise, out of the couple of the other games that look winnable, can't really say they're winnable for the Pistons, but that spot probably stands out more than anything.
Okay. Toronto may be handing the Pistons their first win since now. Looks like it with the odds. It is their next game up after tonight. Is there any chance on earth that this Pistons team squeaks out a win tonight when nobody expects it one bit against one of the best teams in the NBA with the largest spread of the season?
Seems like people kind of expect it. I see a lot of Pistons today because people want to be the ones to take. They want to be the ones to take the big number, and I guess there's like the Celtics are a little injured, whether it's Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, like they're all questionable. It's like it seems doable, I guess, in some people's eyes, and I wouldn't be like shocked if it is, but I wouldn't say nobody's expecting it today. There's a lot of people trying to be the guy.
So maybe we wait for the weekend, and maybe Toronto loses to the Pistons and gives them their first win in forever. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Unbelievable. The funniest part of this whole thing might be that they're on this crazy long losing streak and they still only have one less win than the Wizards. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What?
Yeah.
Like, how is that team not getting roasted even more? Because they should be. Absolute
Pretty
joke
much.
in DC. Joke.
It is. Shout out Jordan Poole, though. He's kind of starting to figure it out. Starting to play a little better.
Yeah, you can play worse. You could not play worse. So I'm glad to see him finally being a feasible piece out there on the courts. It's like everybody's turning into fucking Johnny Davis out there, man. They all stink. Except for Kuzma. Kuzma's holding it down. Wizards do respect spreads because they give them the fattest spreads ever. They do.
Bilal sneakily Timothy. I like Bilal.
Bilal is a good pick. He was a good draft pick. He will be nice. I agree. Okay. P for Pistons. Grow up. Get busy, Dizzy. God. Okay. Chats. I think Javon and I are with the Raptors dropping an L this weekend. Okay. But let me know who you guys think in chats. Who are they dropping? Who are they getting their first win against? Who are the Pistons getting their first win against, chats? Is it the Raptors? Is it the Jazz? Is it the freaking Wizards down here in almost a month? The fact that they even have these fucking props up is hilarious. And maybe they go on and not win another game the rest of the year. Okay, chat. But if you guys are clicking buttons like this and putting your money on it, you're just more of a charitable person than I think you expected. And you don't even know it yet. You just like donating coins. Okay, they will get another win soon. And I think it might be sooner than we think this weekend. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Dubs. I don't really have any NBA plays tonight. I wish I did. I would love to hear Fat Girls Inc.'s NBA whale that he was talking about earlier and still has not given it to us yet.
I think he said Nuggets.
The Nuggets. Huh. You like Steve Denver Nuggets today, who are -7.5 against the Memphis Grizzlies. Nuggets -7, Skullfuck. Grizzlies went over their team total every game with Ja back first leg of a back-to-back with Clippers tomorrow. Grizzlies lose today, 113-98, and win tomorrow in LA. Very specific, Fat Girls Inc. And if that's accurate and ends up being the right score, you have a crystal ball. Okay. Javon, thoughts on the Nuggets?
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Fade the trendy Nuggets. I was kind of looking at a somewhat similar type thing, but I guess not exactly because they suck. But Lakers, fat spread. I thought for a Hornets team has been pretty good ATS against those big spreads. Like a lot of the sharp plays that I've considered taking in the NBA, which I've gone to some of them, have been the Hornets when they're laying like that 10, 11, 11 and a half number. And the Lakers are obviously coming off a pretty disappointing performance on Christmas against the Celtics. Maybe this is just a get right spot, especially with the all the LeBron boost out there, including the La Family Special Square, which I don't think that's realistically going to go under because the Hornets play clamp defense. I think it's just going to be because he's not playing the entire fourth quarter. It's like I could see that just being a blowout game with as well as the Hornets have covered those numbers. I don't think that's going to be the same story today.
Maybe Lakers win big and LeBron gets some extra rest at the end of the third and fourth quarter, and that's how we smack that PrizePicks combo square. Okay, sure. That math checks out for me. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Okay. W's. All right, chat. Some leans in the NBA, maybe even some plays. Maybe they'll blossom into some plays tonight. Lakers spreads and potentially Fat Girls Inc.'s play of the month. Denver -7.5 against the trendy Grizzlies. Okay, sure. W's. Chats, we'll look to target Detroit this weekend potentially. Hopefully that spread comes out weird as heck against Toronto, and maybe we can get catch the falling knife, POD, this weekend with the Pistons. I think they play on Saturday. We'll definitely take another look at them tomorrow when that spread comes out. Sure.
Yeah.
Dubs,
really
awesome. Chat, it's about that time. All right, Goots, run that shit. I want to see that train. And the perfect time for a Pega sub bang as well. Sure, Pega, 13 months. Love to see him, my man. Rumor has it Pega tailed the Hail Mary this weekend and smacked the parlay. If you guys aren't tailing that shit, grow up. What are you doing? We are absolutely slicing and dicing up the boards and finding you guys not only just squad ride winners, but 5-leg parlay winners. Okay, so we'll craft up another one tomorrow. Whether it's on BTL or afterwards, we will get you guys out another Hail Mary and 5 guys entry tomorrow on the Book at BTL Twitter. Okay. And if you don't tail it, it's your own damn fault. All right. But let's muck and let's hurry the fuck up. Javon, we've got business to take care of here, brother. And we've got a lot of sports, a lot of games. Okay. We got best bets below. Okay. Chat, don't let those get swept under the rug. But unfortunately for me, Rutgers ML, that starts up too soon. I do like the under in the Thursday night football game. I would not mind putting that in there. And I do like Arizona in college football. You got thoughts on those two plays?
Yeah, we can put those in.
Okay.
Put those in, I guess, NC State in there as a third.
Sure. We've got the Jets and the Browns. Under 34, I believe, is what the line is at consensus, which is fine. I got 34.5, but if we get hooked, and we can just tweet out a little hook emoji and we'll be good. Arizona ML in college football, sure, loving that play. And then we can also put in NC State +3, I believe is what they're sitting at right now. +3?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. NC State +3. Dubs. What about college basketball, Javon? We had a couple plays we like. All right, a couple plays that were looking at us funny, like Eastern Washington, definitely looking at us funny. UC Davis, Idaho State, right? Cal Poly.
Yeah.
I think our best 2 college plays, after talking through them, are probably Eastern Washington and Cal Poly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I'm down to put those on.
Eastern Washington money line and Cal Poly +3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay. Any hockey or anything else you need in the squad ride? I know you went with a lot of squares today, which is good. That means we got to craft up some winners on the board.
Yeah.
But you're good with those 5 plays, 5 winners? Awesome.
I'm great with those 5 plays.
Yeah. Chat. Okay. Do not let the other plays get swept under the rug. All right. But we do have a squad ride vote here. It's been a couple days, so you better lock in. I want to see 100 votes for the winner. 5 plays, 5 winners. Okay, chat, for this Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. We've got the primetime Thursday night football under between the Jets and the Browns, under 34. We've got Arizona ML in college football late nights. Sure. NC State +3. Don't let that get swept under the rug. Brennan Armstrong legacy game send off. We've got Eastern Washington in college basketball on the ML late nights, and then Cal Poly Pockets +3.5 late night college basketball. I think Eastern Washington might only be 8 p.m. Eastern. Nothing too late. 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Texas time. So nothing crazy there, but 5 plays, chat, 5 winners, 3 footballs, and 2 college basketballs. Okay, hurry up, get your votes in. Go, 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 go. Hurry up. There's no time. We've got about 2 minutes. All right, chat. I'm trying to hoop with Lenny and Javon Butler tonight. Sure. Yeah, Javon is out of commission for the next couple of days until he gets back. But that does not mean that I'm not opposed to hopping in the rec tonight with Trent. Maybe getting Len Bong and Yapitan active if we get a little Trent sighting. So if you guys bitch at him on his socials, tell him to get Night Sweats going tonight. I will pop in there if he gets it going, okay? Krabs, it's the Warriors tonight. Ron, I was waiting. I was waiting for Ron's POD. All right, now that he's finally released it, good. We can take a peep at that while you guys get your votes in, but we got about 2 minutes. Hurry up, go, go, go. 5 plays, 5 winners, chat. We need a squad ride W to get the bankrolls right after the holidays, okay? Warriors -3.5 against your Miami Heat. Javon, any thoughts there?
Seems a little, I don't know, like a little bit of respect for the Warriors. They are at home. I don't know the injury situation for the Heat. I don't know if Jimmy's back and playing or what the deal is there, but still does feel like a little Warriors respect. I wouldn't go crazy taking the Heat, so I don't hate that.
Looking at the lineups and injuries as of right now, it's looking like Draymond is still out, obviously, taking that early vacation. Jimmy, Lowry, Duncan, Martin are all game time decisions. They have no fucking idea who's playing for the Miami Heat game yet. No clue. They're all game time decisions. So definitely want to stay off the Warriors probably until we see who's playing. But if all those stars are playing and the Warriors are still -3.5, then I would definitely lean the Warriors with you there, Ron. 100%. 100%. Okay. Rutgers is the early non-official squad ride. Yes, Boston Sports Dork. Great question. Rutgers on the ML. Please sweat that out with me this afternoon. And get your freaking best bet squad ride votes in right now. Go, 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 go. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. They want to go to college football. Javon, I think I made a mistake.
They do.
Exciting game. And they all sprinted over there to Arizona MLs. I don't hate to play one bit.
Yeah.
Definitely like to play. We'll be on it myself. But looks like the people like it too. They want a little Fafita action tonight, huh? They want a little Fafita action tonight, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Okay, I could get down with that too. Sure. W's. All right, chats. We got a little squad ride action here. Arizona ML. And we've got a 4-piece college football PrizePicks entry that we will post on the Book It BTL Twitter page this afternoon. Maybe we'll get some more entries out there too. And yes, Dead Larry Bird can definitely get behind UC Davis. I'm with you on that one. Terrence suspended, Moose is saying. Check Jeff Goodman's Twitter. What the?
Yeah, it's not good. I just peeped the tweet. But we can save that for another day.
Okay. We will save that for another day. Sure. W's. Chat, we do need to do real quick here a little King of the Board giveaway for Monday. Goots, can we pull that puppy up? We got the squad ride locked in for Arizona ML. Are you able to pull up and dive through? Oh, sure he can. Let's see how many people put little crabbies instead of milk emojis. All right, Goots. You're up here now with the boys. Go ahead and make your pick.
Sure. I'll do my little scroll. Let's get a crab.
This is nightmare fuel for Javon right now. He has to watch this whole thing play out.
Hold on.
Unreal, man.
Here we go. Tim Swiller.
Oxymoron guy / Discord guy.
Yes.
Okay. Goots, if you can do me a favor, hit up my guy Tim. in the
I'll hit
DMs,
'em up.
and we'll get my man some PrizePicks promos.
Yes, sir.
W's. Let's go,
Whoops.
Tim. That's called believing in a winner right there, Tim. That's called believing in him. We need to go back and calculate all the milk jugs compared to the crabs because it's an unbelievable amount. But we'll
John,
leave
you
that
always
for another
good
day, and all that
feeds,
is motivation. All that is motivation. We got my guy Sam L145 in chat. What's up, crabs? Dropping a subby. What's up, my man? How we doing? Good to see you. Chat, let's keep smacking bets. Okay, right now we are seeing the board very well. We've got a squad ride winner tonight, Arizona ML. Please do not let these other plays get swept under the rug. Please, 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 please don't. Okay, those are 5 great plays for tonight. Do not forget about them just because they're not the squad ride, but please lock in that squad ride for a responsible unit and tail with the boys, and we can bitch about it, or we can all meet at the counter afterwards when it cashes. All right, plain and simple. Okay, chat. We've been hot recently. All right, we just gave away some PrizePicks promo, and now we're ready to shut this puppy down. Javon, any last words for the people on this Thursday afternoon?
Let's make some coin. That's all we're here for.
All right. Rutgers. We'll leave it at that. All right, Rutgers ML starting up right now, chat. Do not forget about it. Okay, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, maybe even a little bit earlier. People are talking. Same place, and we'll be seeing. All right, boys. Peace. Maybe sweats tonight. TBD. We'll be seeing.